Hey everyone, I'm excited to introduce you to a special episode I've done as part of Podcast-thon, the world's largest podcast charity initiative. I hope you find this conversation as fun as I did, and you may learn something interesting along the way. Enjoy! I have two people from Iowa Parrot Rescue here with me today. I was just wondering if you two wanted to start out by introducing yourself and letting the audience know a little bit about what you do.
Hi, my name is Sarah Kadlec, and I'm the Parrot Welfare Manager at Iowa Parrot Rescue, which means that I take care of most of the day-to-day stuff. I'm there 5 days a week, at least. I take care of adoptions, intakes, feeding the birds, cleaning, amongst many other things.
And I'm Casey Constant. I'm her assistant. So I come in about 3 days a week and I feed and hang out with the birds.
Yeah. I'm guessing that they require a lot of time.
Oh yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Full time, round the clock work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for the audience, I was just telling these two about my bird is watching cartoons right now. So he's
Yeah.
little high maintenance. I haven't taught him to use the Alexa yet. But
Yet.
So how much time per day do you spend caring for the parrots, including feeding, cleaning, and enrichment?
Well, most days of the week, we're there for about 8 hours. That that includes, like you said, the cleaning, the feeding, the enrichment, the toy building. There are also many hours that I spend outside of work, doing education programs, emails, phone calls. Our work line is my cell phone, so I'm pretty much on all the time.
Wow.
Fundraising, yes.
Yeah.
Transports. So it's at least 8 hours a day. It's a full-time job and then some, because we still need volunteers to help out with all the things that me and Casey can't even get done on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even imagine. So, do you have plenty of volunteer work, or is that something that you guys are searching for, is more volunteers?
Definitely searching for sure. We do have a
Okay.
good amount of volunteers right now. The ones that we have are incredibly helpful. Actually, Casey just had a volunteer in today to help her finish feeding.
Yeah. But it feels like it comes and goes. Like it comes in waves where there will be a bunch of volunteers and then it'll fall off and it'll be just us doing it.
Yeah.
And then more volunteers will come in.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we had a lot more prior to COVID. And at that point, a lot of our volunteers and our home visitors in particular were not able to do it anymore. We didn't want people going into houses when there was a risk to their health. So we lost a lot of volunteers. And at that point, it became very difficult to pick back up. And we've made a good push to try to get more volunteers in and are doing more outreach. And I think it's so far paying off pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to volunteer at the UNI Botanical Center in Cedar Falls. And
cool.
Because of COVID, they wouldn't take volunteers anymore. So then I'm like, well, okay. Like they're just going to lose all this help then, and I get it. But yeah. So they have two parrots there, an African gray and a gold-capped conure. And then, so my severe macaw, I would take him to go see the ladies, like his little girlfriends. And yeah, the gold-capped conure did not like him. So they had to stay away. Like, I mean, they were always within like a certain distance for safety because he can't see well. And I think like his behavior sometimes might be a little bit easy to misinterpret. But the African gray, she just loves him, just loves to look at him from a distance,
Just wow, you're so pretty.
Yeah. So, and is that an eclectic on your shoulder?
She's an eclectus, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
she's a Solomon Island eclectus.
Eclectus, yeah. I'm like, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come here, baby. You're gonna come
And what's
see?
her name?
It's like, her name is Ruby. Very apt for her color.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, go, Ruby.
Oh my goodness. You're so beautiful.
She did come to me as a plucker. She kind of goes through, she's
Yeah.
mostly a hormonal plucker, but she also gets
Okay.
herself pretty ratty. Of course, she was my second bird adopted from IPR. Hi, pretty
Okay.
girl. She was supposed to be adopted by somebody else, and I'm not going to say I was. I mean, I was
Yeah.
lucky to get her, really, because the person that was supposed to adopt her just never showed up.
Yeah.
Despite going through all of the process and everything, they just
Oh.
didn't show for her. So as soon
Yeah.
as that happened, I was like, this bird's
Yeah.
coming home with me.
I had kind of got a cat that way. It's like I really didn't need another cat, but I don't know, was feral and
Yeah,
I wasn't going to get adopted out right away. So I'm like, okay, I used to work at an
might as
animal
well.
shelter in Texas, and
Sometimes they choose us.
They always do, I
that's
think.
Yeah.
yes, I agree. I think it's always because I mean, there's one when I worked at the animal shelter down in Texas, like I'm like, okay, I want a cuddly cat. Who's it gonna be? And I always lean towards the Siamese, but I picked up this like cream and white Persian mix, and he let me hold him like a baby, and he licked my face, and I'm like, well, this is obviously the cat that
This is
needs
the
to come
one.
home. And that's the only one I've really like picked out. It's
Yeah,
still I feel like he chose me. So
that makes
I just think
sense.
they just make such great pets when they come to you like that.
My dove's going off in the background. He does that all day
Oh,
long.
that's funny. Oh,
I got him from Great Lakes Pigeon Rescue in Chicago.
oh, wow. Yeah, how many birds do you have personally?
I personally only have 4. One of them
Mhm.
lives permanently at the rescue as an education bird. She does
Oh,
super
cool.
duper well when she's outside, going to events and libraries and schools and whatnot. She does really well. So she hangs out there. And then I have a Quaker, I have Ruby, and then my dove.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. So I used to see when I lived in Texas, I used to see like the wild Quaker parrots running
Yeah.
around. I did not know that was a thing before I moved down there.
There are
Um
feral Quakers in Des Moines.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Very,
Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah.
seriously?
Yeah.
They're
How did
illegal in
they
They're
Wisconsin because
illegal
of
in
it.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. That I didn't even know they could live like in the Midwest.
Oh yeah,
So,
Chicago, Maine. I mean, all over the place. Boston.
wow.
There's
They have
tons of
colonies
places.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. I never would have known. So I'm going to be looking for them everywhere now.
I know. I do too, honestly. You hear them before you see them.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I suppose. So we kind of talked about how much time, and then a little bit about like the team working with the people. Do you have more full-time staff?
As far as full-time staff, it's just me. Casey is
Yeah.
part-time, and Mike still comes down to hang out with the birds, and he
Yeah.
and Pat, our treasurer, do all the financials.
Okay.
Abby is Mike's wife, and she is one of the directors, kind of co-president. She is
Mhm.
amazing and does so many things behind the scenes. She's actually going to be
Yeah.
taking over our like commercial commerce part of it, so where we sell the t-shirts and things on our
Yeah.
website. She's taking over that. She makes food for us. She
Yeah,
does
she
our
does like
grain.
Oh, yeah.
herbs, like homemade herbs, our
Yes, dries
mixes.
our herbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
and does our
wow.
She
yeah.
is amazing. She does so many things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have all of our volunteers. We do have a couple volunteers that have been with us long term. So Pat, the treasurer that I was saying, she's actually been a volunteer since
Uh-huh.
2016. She does that all on her own. And then
Okay.
Grayson is a Wednesday volunteer. Jesse's a board member that comes in pretty regularly that is also
Mhm.
massively helpful. So as far as like actual paid staff, it's just Casey and I right now, and it
Yeah.
probably will remain that.
Yeah.
That's on you.
It's not on, it's
Yeah.
not
I
on
don't know anything
me.
about that part.
That's on the board.
Yeah, it is crazy because it sounds like you guys have quite an operation. Like I'm up in the Waterloo area, so I don't get into your area of Iowa very
Yeah.
often, but I'm like,
There's like
it's the
nothing
one
down here.
parrot rescue, and so I've just been
People
following
from our own
everything.
town don't know it still exists. So
This is
Really?
true. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I got a T-shirt, but you can't even tell. I'm like,
Oh my gosh, we
to
see it.
yeah,
So cool.
So, yeah, yeah. I just love watching the. I
feel
mean,
like I
I'd been
remember seeing your order
following.
now. I saw her order.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Funny.
Yes. I
Yeah.
absolutely saw that, and it didn't even click. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's funny. I've been following you guys on Facebook for a while, and I was trying to decide if I wanted another parrot or not, and my veterinarian was like, well, with his eyesight being bad and everything, like he's probably fine just being, with one
This is true.
person. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty typical of the severes too. Severe macaws are touchy sometimes when it comes to other birds.
Yeah, and I saw that you had one recently. Did she get adopted out?
He did,
But
yeah.
then I'm
Yep,
like,
Levi. Yeah, Levi got
or he
adopted to
or
somebody here in town.
oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
she's doing so good with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
good.
loves them. She loves the husband and the wife mutually, but only one at a time.
Yes.
So I feel like it's whoever comes and gets her out of her cage first is who she's gonna choose that night.
That's always been Levi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really funny because mine, I've had Minnow for 11 years now, and we moved in with my future husband at the time over COVID because it was like my lease was up. I might as well just move in,
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
it took him 2 years before he would talk to my husband. Like,
You know
he'd
what?
walk
My
in the
gray
room
is
and
the
just
same way.
really.
Yes, with
Yeah.
my best friend. We lived together for several years, and every
Yeah.
time he would pet sit for me and I wasn't home, baby wouldn't say a single word to him. And the only time he ever said anything, he said, "Girl." And she glared at him and said, "Girl."
That is hilarious. I love parrot shade. Like, 'cause, Minnow would
Yeah.
look at him and just
The drama.
yeah, not even
I don't
you don't
approve of you.
exist to me. So
That's so true.
but yeah,
None of my birds are like that.
yeah.
I know. Ruby and Dickie are so sweet. And Louis has no brain, so
He's a dog. What do you want from him?
he loves anybody that holds him.
He loves all birds too. He
Aw.
just wants to be with birds. He's like, "Ooh, I love you all." There he goes.
Really?
Cuckoo.
Oh. Yeah. I put Minnow out in our catio sometimes, and he loves to listen to the other birds. But if I have him secured in my hands, but outside, red-winged blackbirds will try and dive bomb him, so he can't be outside at all, unless he's in the catio.
Right.
But I had an owl try and get him through the window one time, and he was
Oh,
just
no.
traumatized.
Yeah, that is traumatizing.
I was traumatized. But for him, he would not sit in the window without the curtain closed for a couple months. I don't know
Poor
how it even
chickens.
saw him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
Yeah. So do you have any special needs birds?
Oh yeah, we have quite a few. You want to talk about Rojo?
Oh, Rojo's our baby. She's such a baby, but she's got lots of special needs. She has super bad arthritis in her arm, her feet,
arms, yeah.
everything. Every part of her body has arthritis. So she's also very old, and she's the sweetest girl.
Yeah. She has an enlarged heart, chronic aspergillosis. She just recently started gabapentin for nerve pain because she's now developing some neuropathy in her feet in addition to the arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
The arthritis in her wings has actually twisted her primaries so that they kind of grow upside down in a way. And this isn't uncommon in very geriatric birds. She was imported in 1970 as an adult, had been raised by somebody in Central America, and then was adopted and brought into the US to just, continue her life here. So we don't technically know how old she is, but she was imported in 1970, so she's at least 55, but probably much older based on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little crippled.
Yeah. But I mean, we've done all kinds of
we have a
special needs.
Yeah, her cage is all specialized with platforms and nice soft paddings for her to like. Yeah. I mean, she cannot hold really. So
yeah, she kind of like waddles around like this. And then we have another macaw who has leg problems.
TC.
She was TC. She was transferred from a rescue in Chicago like over 12 years ago. I think she's been here since 2014 or something like that. And she it really looks like cerebral hypoplasia in cats, like the wobbly cat disease.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of her body works fine, but her legs, she does this like motion like this a lot. And it's very unusual.
Can't really grab.
Yeah, her toes are kind of deformed because she's had to adapt over time. Her cage isn't really set up all that different from anybody else's.
She thrives just fine.
She does.
Okay.
She's picky about who she likes, though, because she's very self-conscious. That's not the word I want. Insecure. She's very insecure. So she's good with the people that she knows on a day-to-day basis. New people, she's just noisy and goofy.
She's a good girl. They're all good babies.
They are.
Yeah.
We've done blind birds. We've helped
Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine. Sunshine's blind. That's true.
Yeah, she's another handicap bird. She can't see, and her beak is also
a very severe deformity.
So she can't get like normal nuts. We have to break her walnuts for her, and just little things with birds. Yep. You have to. She also is very aggressive until she knows it's almost she knows your voice. She has to hear you because she can't see you.
Yeah.
And then once she figures out your voice, then she's way less aggressive. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Minnow, when I got him, he was 26 and already had the cataracts, and we don't really like this. So I kind of talked to you about this a little bit, Sarah, but like for the audience and for Casey, I lived in Texas. My friend had an aviary, and Minnow was Minion at the time, surrendered to him with cataracts. And the story that he was given didn't really match what the veterinarian said. I mean, it kind of did, but also I don't think a lot of birds really go to the vet. I feel like exotic pets just don't go to the vet on a regular basis.
There's not a lot of options too.
Correct.
I don't feel like it's necessarily always the owner's issue. It's that there's no vets close that do that type of things. I mean,
it is true. Yeah. I mean, vets that can actually handle avians, not just like, oh yes, this is a vet that will see a bird, but they don't really know very much about them. That's how our, vets are here in town. Our closest vet that does anything about birds is still an hour away. And for most people, that's like inconceivable, but we're out in rural Iowa, so we have very few resources.
I think there's like a traveling one that comes through like quarterly or maybe like half every twice a year, but for consistent vets that you can get a hold of, or like emergency vets, because a lot of times when somebody needs to take their bird to the vet, it's because of an emergency.
In which like Waterloo is probably our best if we can get to Den Herder. Sometimes they can see us in like urgent cases, but a lot of times it's UW-Madison for us. Like if we have any specialty cases that involve like extensive eye imaging or CT scans or MRIs, all of that's done at UW-Madison. So we have to drive 3 hours to Madison. We're willing to do it, but also we have the funding, and a lot of individuals don't have that for the specialty care. And that's significantly harder on an individual person. It's not easy for us either, but it's very different. You know, if I had to take Ruby to University of Illinois or Urbana-Champaign for potential heart problems, and I didn't have $1,500, but I had to figure it out somehow, you know.
Versus somebody having to take their dog to the vet, which there's a vet for dogs everywhere.
There's also low-cost clinics for dogs. And exotics are just so expensive.
Yep. I will say, so my cats and dogs, they go to a different vet that's closer. My friend's a vet tech there, and I love them. But he's not the exotic vet. And so I used to work for Den Herder when I was in college the first time. And so I love Lori, and she's retiring, and I'm so sad.
I know,
but
she's leaving. But you know what, Dr. Emily, we worked with Dr. Emily for one of our Amazons that ended up having cancer, and she was the one that diagnosed him. I was just so impressed by her. Like, I could tell that she worked under Dr. Lori for a long time, or at least has been incredibly well trained. And she's got big shoes to fill, but she thinks she's going to do a good job.
I know. Because I've known Lori since 2006. So, you know, of course I'm sad that she's retiring. But yeah, Minnow and I both like Dr. Emily as well. So I'm not worried about it. He loves Lori's like Minnesota accent and her baby talking him. He loves to be baby talked.
I bet.
But the whole staff is just wonderful. He just cracks them up because he's in there talking and just going wild. He loves attention. So.
Funny little thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm lucky that I live by an exotic vet, you know, and obviously, like I said, my cats and dogs go to a place that's closer, but it's only maybe 30 minutes tops if traffic is bad for me to get to Den Herder. I work in Waterloo, you know, they're just on the other side of Waterloo that I'm at. But the access to proper veterinary care is a huge problem, you know, and like you said, it isn't always on the owners, but yeah, we were surprised to learn that Minnow could even see because he'd had his cataracts for so long, and he can out of one eye a little bit, but he's so used to hearing and just sensing people around him that you wouldn't even know that he's mostly blind.
Yeah, some birds adapt really especially well to being blind. Our first hyacinth did not adapt very well to being blind, and he always had a hard time, but we worked really hard on training him and using different cues to let him know what was going to happen, and he eventually learned to like tolerate his medications. You know, we could just syringe him right into the mouth and he was fine with it, and we could do his eye drops because he was going in for cataract surgery. But he had to get like the eye drops every 2 hours around the clock. Mike and Abby were coming in at 2 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah,
I took the day shift, they took the night shift.
Yeah. So how did this? He did have the surgery?
He actually didn't. We prepped him for really the whole process was several months worth of prepping him, and his pre-op scans basically showed that his organs were failing, and we weren't really sure why. We weren't really sure why, but he ended up having like extreme atherosclerosis. I mean, the type that when you do the necropsy, their vessels are like straws. They're so rigid and full of plaque. There was no blood flow going to any of his organs, and he ended up having to be euthanized because it wasn't fair to let him suffer with that. You know, it's not something that's curable. And he was 54 when he was euthanized, I believe. He was one of the first hyacinths bred in captivity. And he also had arthritis, but he was going downhill pretty fast.
54 is a good age.
It's okay. Yeah, we thought we were going to have a lot more time with him.
Yeah.
But that was actually that was Rojo's husband.
Oh, really?
Yep, that was her husband.
So what does a typical bird intake look like?
Well, it's a typical bird intake would be we're getting a bird in on Monday, so we can start kind of how this process went. So it starts with obviously an email. somebody would contact us and let us know what their bird is like. Mostly we're looking for things like what their diet is like, what their temperament is like, if what their medical history is, their reason for rehoming. It's kind of like a triage in a way to try to figure out how can we best find a home for this bird quickly or in the timeline that they have. And in addition to that, can we provide this bird with more than it's currently getting? Because the rescue environment, as good as it is still kind of undoubtedly stressful.
It's a rescue.
Exactly. There's a ton of birds.
And a lot of birds don't like to be with other birds. As much as birds you would think are supposed to be in a flock and would love to be with other birds, there are a lot of birds that don't want to be with other birds.
Some of them have never seen another bird in their life.
Yeah. So it makes them very stressed out to be in the rescue.
Yeah. But sometimes ultimately it is still in their best interest to come to us.
Right.
We know that they will adapt as long as they are not like a very frantic bird. We're really careful about the African grays because they are probably the most fearful of any of the species, with the exception of like finches or canaries or something that tend to just be more sensitive.
Sarah is really good at deciding who needs to come and who deserves a courtesy post.
I try to. Yes. So the courtesy post, it's a good idea you brought that up. So the courtesy posts we do pretty frequently, but they're kind of a way for people to privately rehome their bird without having to come to the rescue. So it does put the responsibility of ensuring a good home on the person that is rehoming this bird, which can sometimes be too much for people, but we try to walk them through it as much as possible and give suggestions on how to do that vetting. And then if they have any questions about an individual, they can run that person by us and we can say, yes, we know them, or no, we don't know them, kind of thing. Most of the time we don't, but you never know. I don't know. Who knows? We've had a good number of courtesy posts adopted by prior adopters. And that's really like the ideal situation, is that people that we know and we have vetted already want a bird. That's kind of like an automatic, yes, this person already has been cleared and we know that they're going to be a good fit, assuming that, personality wise they match.
Because unfortunately we just can't take every bird.
As much as we'd like to.
Yeah, as much as we'd like to. There's just
and even if we have space, there are times where the bird is just so
we're not going to
tame. It's like they could find a home quite easily with a courtesy post, and it's probably going to be faster and it's probably going to be easier for you, and it's going to be less stressful on the bird. So let's go that route and see what we can do. And then there's some times that we just don't have space, and then we have to say this is the only option. It's obviously ideal when we have some space in cases like severe medical issues, like if somebody goes into a nursing home or something and there's nobody for the bird.
Hoarding
issues, military deployments, all of those things. Oh, and returns. All of those take priority over a standard bird coming into the rescue.
Somebody just deciding they don't want their bird anymore.
That doesn't happen as much anymore, thankfully. Like when the rescue first started, that was most of the reason people would bring in birds, is because they just didn't know what they were getting into. And now it's more like, people are aging out.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a lot of older birds.
We do. I love them.
Yeah.
I know. We do. The older birds are the best birds. I'm just saying.
They totally are. I love the seniors.
Well, I was reading about how the severe macaws, when I got mine, how they were named that, and my biology professor was surprised to hear, or maybe it was the vet, I can't remember, that their actual species name is Ara severus, and because they're so ornery when they go through puberty, and I'm like, with the bitch fits my bird throws now, like maybe it was a good thing he wasn't with me when he was going through puberty.
Oh my gosh, I'm always joking that severe macaw is just like stands for severely terrible.
Yeah, that's just
well, they're so fun though. But they're really bipolar. So
he's like a little demon in the mornings when it's time to to eat. Like I make him bird bistro and just he has like his whole little morning routine. And so he's really ornery until he gets that food. And then most days he's fine the whole rest of the day. But like sometimes like he's yelling at me and I'll just be like, Minnow, you have to chill out. And then and I mean, and just scream at me. Like,
ooh.
so he's not saying words, but he knows what it sounds like to get chewed out, and which that doesn't happen at my house. But when he came to me, he only knew like 5 things, and 3 of them were like bad bird, asshole, shut the F up, like very naughty things. So I'm like, so that attitude did not come from me.
I love the potty mouths.
Dickie says damn it, but he only says it like in context or somebody raises their voice.
WTF, but he says it full words.
He says it like a Muppet though, so it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
No, Judy.
Yeah, Minnow doesn't know what STFU means. He just knows like to yell it if you're mad. And so again, I didn't teach him that. That was a previous owner thing. But if he can't if I'm not in the same room as him, he'll just scream that. Like he's mad and just will scream the full thing, STFU, and okay, he's pissed. Feeling. I gotta go get him. So yeah, they're hilarious. But all right. So we have kind of talked about like all the things that are involved. Obviously, there's a lot of cost involved in all of this. And I know that donations are very, very important. So I guess we've talked about cage setup. That's not cheap. Again, resources for exotic animals are not easily. I mean, it's better now in the day of the internet, but you order a cage and there's a picture of a macaw in the cage and you think, oh, this is big enough for a macaw. And I was neglectful and didn't read the measurements and it's, this is for a parakeet type thing.
100%. 100%. It's always that way.
Can you tell I've gotten burned a few times on that?
Haven't we all?
Yeah. So but yeah, I think with, especially because you guys do take in hoarder situations, there can be quite a lot of cost involved just for resources, but as well as the veterinary care. And like each bird, how much roughly does that cost for a full checkup? Like if it's coming in if it's coming in with like health issues.
Oh, if it's coming in with health issues. Man, I should have counted up all of Buddy's vet fees. A bird that's coming in for the first time is going to be getting an exam and blood work right off the bat. That's about $300. And that's just thorough physical exam and the basic blood work. If we need more extensive blood work, that can come to another $150 on top of that. Each additional checkup is usually about $60 if it's just like a physical checkup. We administer all the medications ourselves and we do some of the minor wound care things. So if we get in a bird that has an injury or something, a lot of times we have to do the PT or the physical care ourselves. They still go to the vet and get the checkup and we figure out what needs to happen in order to get where the bird needs to go, I guess. A good example, my Quaker is over there just beeping his day away. For a bird like Buddy had, I think, 5 checkups when he was here, like progress checkups, as well as near constant medication. Every time we get a bottle of our antibiotics, it's usually about $150. We spend a lot of money on meloxicam. That's $115 a bottle. We've got 3 or 4 birds on that now. The gabapentin's $50 a bottle. So is the fluconazole, and now with the Haldol for Oscar, yeah, it adds up. So a sick
Yeah.
bird is gonna usually doesn't get in the $1,000 range, but we have definitely took in birds that were in the several hundreds of dollars right off the bat, not including the long-term medication or any of that. If a bird has to go to UW-Madison, we rarely leave with a bill under $1,000 there.
Yeah. Well, and so the medications alone, I'm trying to remember. I had a ferret on gabapentin, and he had to have like the liquid form, and it had to be
Yes,
made a
compounded.
specific way from compounded. Whereas my cat's on gabapentin for seizures, and it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna guess that parrots need compounded medication as well.
Yeah, you can't really give a parrot a pill. I mean, I'd like to see somebody try. So pretty much all of our medications are compounded. The meloxicam, our vet is actually matching, like she's matching prices on Chewy for us. So thankfully we're able to get it at a better price. So we spend about $120 on 200 milliliters, and that'll last us a couple months. But that is not compounded. So that we just buy it as is, and that's so much easier and quicker than having to do the compounding. Because the compounding, they have to make it, and then they have to like put it through several pharmacists to make sure that it's made properly, and then they do a final check, and then they send it out. And we use Wedgwood, and they're incredible, fantastic. We've used them for many years and have never had a problem with our medications. But they tend to be, I mean, I think our cheapest medication that's compounded is like $30.
Yeah. It just adds up so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
So my next question was, why is parrot ownership different from being a cat or dog owner, which we've kind of covered with the medication, with the access to vet care. But whenever someone asks me, oh, you think I should get a pet parrot? As I've told you previously, I always say no. And then I'm like, okay, but tell me why you think you should need a parrot. Oh, I just think it'd be cool to have something to hang out with me and talk to me. And it's like, yeah, no, are you ready for a toddler? Because then
like,
sure.
It is cool if you like to be around that all the time.
Get a television.
Right?
Yeah. Or a stuffed animal.
Yeah. I just don't think that until you've done it, it's really hard to grasp how much, and it's very rewarding if you put the time into it,
I just think it takes special people to really understand it. I mean, I think that I don't think birds should have ever been a pet, period. But because there already are birds in captivity, I think they can, though, like, if you're willing to put in the effort, they can make really good companions. Like, really good companions. I wouldn't say pets. I would say companions.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as having a pet cat or a pet dog.
Yeah.
It's a companion. You have to put in the effort and the time and the consistency. And if you don't, they'll lose those character traits that make them good companions. And they just are so easily to go right back to being wild.
Yep. And how many people don't train their dogs anyhow?
Exactly.
And birds require so much more often and so much more patience
sociable.
with it.
They are social creatures. I mean, they need to be social, whether it be with birds or with their person or their people. They need to be part of a flock of sorts.
Yeah, absolutely. And, people managing their expectations too. People come in with way too high of expectations and what they want out of a bird, basically. And so many people end up coming in and saying, well, I want a bird that I can snuggle with. And I'm like, they're not a dog.
Or I want a bird that I can talk.
Yeah.
And that's not
if I could change anything about a bird, I'd remove their ability to talk.
Yeah.
I think it would eliminate a lot of the appeal to people, which it's kind of a good thing in some ways, because the people that get them for the wrong reasons end up disappointed. Any bird can talk, but they don't all.
Yeah.
Ruby can talk. She says
and
a
they
couple
don't
things.
do it on command either. Always,
Oh, no.
It's mimicking for them. They don't know.
Well,
Mhm.
some of them do.
Some of them do. I'm not saying
Baby does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you can't make her do it. If she doesn't want to do it, she's
Yeah.
not going to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can't make them do
Yeah.
anything they don't want to do. And a lot of people get birds and their expectations are too high and they think that their bird is going to do all of these things. And then when they don't, they either get bored and they give up, or they, abuse them or neglect them, or any number of
And everything
fates.
is so opposite from like a cat or a dog. Like, you cannot reprimand a bird.
Right.
You cannot say no and they learn that. You cannot they don't.
Yeah,
They're
they
gonna
don't respond to it.
No, they're just gonna turn mean, bite
Yeah.
ya, and be like, I'll do what I want regardless. So like, people don't understand that either, that there's a totally different, you need to earn their respect just as much as, and you have to respect them, and vice versa. Like, there's so much to them that's not the same as a different, like, they don't work in a hierarchy system. They work in a trust system, where dogs are like hierarchy, you're the leader of the pack, and then they respect you because you showed them you're the leader. And the birds are like, you're not anything.
Yeah.
This is true. You're not anything.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to describe it. You're not going to be your bird's leader.
No.
They're going to do what they
You're probably not even going to be their owner. They're probably going to be your owner.
Yeah. The most you can do is earn their respect, and then they at least won't bite you. But you're still not going to make them do what they don't want to do. They just won't hurt you in the process.
That's true. Probably. Some of them still have the occasional oops bites. That's usually like Amazons.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amazons.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have one, and he gives me lots of scars.
Yes, he does. And he's a sweetheart, but he still does. He's a little
the best baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a scar on the inside of my lip from like my bird learned a little, to give kisses, but he was also cage aggressive when I got him, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was like cleaning something next to his cage, and he reached his beak out, and I went to give him a kiss. Wasn't thinking like, oh, you're kissing your cage aggressive bird on his cage, and he grabbed and didn't let go. And I had to like, like he was hanging there,
you have to pry the beak off. Yeah.
And that's one of those things.
And there's like
you have to accept that from a bird. If a dog were to do that, you would be like, oh my God, you cannot bite my lip. But a bird, you're like,
it's a wild animal.
I'm so sorry. That was my fault.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Every bite happens because of a result of miscommunication, or, you're not fulfilling their needs.
Yeah.
It's not because they're bad. They're wild animals.
It's always
what they're
our fault.
to do. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I notice sometimes my lip like goes to the side, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got nerve damage. But I've also been like, I was a vet tech, and I've been bit in the mouth by cats too. So who the hell knows? But
I would rather be bitten by a bird than a cat. Scary.
It was a nightmare. But but once I got him a different cage, that problem went away. And so that old cage is a plant stand now, but that's lucky, and
we have an old cage plant stand.
Oh, really?
They make it hangs in the littles room. Although the littles, back when we had the 5 green cheeks, we had a family deal, 2 adults and 3 babies. They kind of destroyed the spider plant, so it doesn't hang in there anymore. But the cage does.
Yeah. That's funny. The specific living arrangements for parrots. So when I moved in with my husband, like, he had to be taught, you can't use these sprays, you can't use the oven on the cleaning cycle. There are so many things that you cannot do with a parrot in the house that you can with cats and dogs. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the main things that are toxins to birds is VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds. Those are found in all kinds of things, paint, air fresheners, wax warmers, those little oil diffusers, essential oils, candles. So VOCs, they can cause short-term or long-term damage. Like there are some people that will say, oh, well, I've had air fresheners in my house for 20 years and my bird is fine, but they may only live half their lifespan. And the people are like, oh, they died of old age. And it's like, that's not normal. That's long-term damage to the bird. Some things like PTFE or Teflon overheating, also found in PFOAs, those things, when they're overheated, which is usually 450 and up, those will cause immediate damage and sometimes even just death. And the reason for that is because their biology is very different from a dog or a cat. And actually, reptiles have a very similar biology where they have lungs and air sacs. And these air sacs work by cycling the oxygen around through the body. So all the oxygen gets to their organs like significantly faster than anything else. And when you're inhaling toxins into those air sacs, you're also cycling those toxins through all of those organs just as quickly. So you may end up with, liver failure, or you may end up with respiratory distress very quickly because of things that are in the air, like those air fresheners, wax warmers, whatever. Some of the biggest things that I've seen in home visits that people just don't realize is Febreze spray, even though it says on the back of the bottle, can't use it. You might see candles and people will say, oh, they're soy or they're beeswax, but you're still burning and releasing soot into the air too. And that's still...
The carpet powders.
Yeah, the carpet powders for sure. So we see these things pretty often, and a lot of people don't realize that they're dangerous. The wax warmers is probably the most popular right now, as well as air fryers. Because some air fryers also have Teflon in them, that PTFE. So you really, you have to be so careful when looking at anything that you're going to be bringing into your home, because anything could be a potential toxin to them.
Yeah. I used to be an incense person and the wax warmer and everything like that. And now, since I stopped doing that after becoming a parrot owner, if I walk into a house with wax warmers going, it just gets to me immediately. So,
yes, 100%. That's why we do our home visits in person, because you can't smell those things over a video call, but the second you walk into a home, for us, we're not exposed to any of that kind of stuff. So somebody could say that they don't smoke, or somebody could say that their house is clean and that they're safe.
It's so strong.
Yes, but it is so much stronger, and they don't smell it anymore, so they don't realize it. But we pick up on that immediately, and we're like, okay, we need to eliminate these things, because while you don't think it's a problem, it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you think how much it affects you by going into that house. Like, imagine a bird going into that house.
And there are alternatives, to home small goods, like the simmer pots.
Those are awesome.
You could do simmer pots, which is all organic, and you just boil it on your stove, and then it makes your house smell good, just like cooking, you know?
Fruits, spices, whatever you want to put into the simmer pot, and you just let it run. And I understand that takes up a little bit of electricity, but no more than a wax warmer.
No.
And the cool thing is you can actually use those wax warmer pots as long as they're electric. They're just heated up with a bulb, but you can use that as a tiny simmer pot. So you don't have to get rid of the pretty little light thing that you have, as long as you're safe with it. You're not putting those wax blocks into it. You're putting fruit and cinnamon in it.
Yeah, and water and a cinnamon stick and a piece of orange.
Yum, yum.
And it smells yum.
I'm totally going to do that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fantastic, especially in the winter time, because it's also keeps your house a little bit more humid. Not much, but it helps.
Yeah. Well, and then, so, if you think about it, those wax cubes cost something. That all costs something. And actually, candles can be kind of expensive. Cinnamon
that is
and
the one thing
are
that I
cheaper.
miss. I miss candles so much. I have one in my closet that I sniff every now and then.
Yeah.
It's like an addict. Like I go up to it, I'm like, oh, I miss this candle so much. Or if I go out of town or something, I can go to my grandma's house and then we can burn candles in my grandma's house.
Yeah.
That's the one single thing that I miss out of any of the stuff I had before. And when I got birds, there wasn't really much of a change for me because I'm sensitive to that stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, the smells those were changed to me because I love good smells.
Good smells, yeah.
But like I said, you can do alternatives. There's other ways to have good smells.
True.
Yeah.
Without something that's going to hurt your bird.
We kind of talked about the different behaviors and characters of the parrots. And then Levi, that severe macaw, she had to go to like a home with no other parrots, correct?
For the most part, yeah. It was no or few, and so they have budgies. They have a little flock of 4 budgies. A lot of the larger parrots don't see that as competition, so these budgies don't come out of their cage. They just like to be cared for and maintain their own little personalities and relationships and drama. So she went to a home where there were no other big birds. So that's kind of the key there. And she's doing better for sure. The home that she came out of had 4 large parrots, like 3 Amazons and a macaw. Well, no, 2 Amazons and 2 macaws because Levi. And that was just a lot for her. It was just too much to be divided, you know?
Yeah. I could see so back to the African gray and the gold-capped conure. Once in a while I'll have dreams that I've adopted them because I post so many pictures of them that people will be like, "You have 3 birds, right?" And it's like, no, but so I just have these weird dreams. And so sometimes I picture them living with us. And the African gray, she's already buddies with Minnow. She prefers males, and so she could be like my husband's little buddy, but the conure, she prefers me, and I know that Minnow would get jealous, but she's also like screaming all day, and I think he would yell at her. Like I think he'd hate her.
A conure would put her in her place for sure. You know what? Out of all my 4 birds, they all hate each other. So
oh, really?
Literally, I cannot have any of them out together. No, they will.
No.
This one's like 90% of the problem. She is most of the problem.
Ruby.
Yes. If it wasn't for Ruby, I think the rest of my birds would be like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
But
She's
Ruby,
the instigator.
It's not a lie. It's very common with eclectus. They are well known for being solitary and not appreciating other birds. There's been plenty of cases of particularly females, but eclectus in general being aggressive towards smaller birds. It's common, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we just have everybody out at separate times / in separate rooms.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, that sounds, again, a lot of work, like, but worth it.
For sure.
I was researching like the different behaviors of different types of parrots back when I was considering a friend for Minnow, and yeah, they were not. Basically, I landed on Amazons would maybe be like a decent pair, but we're just not going to do it.
Interesting. I mean, if they were going to be friends with Minnow, like the personality, I can see that working. They're both pretty
personality
headstrong.
And size, but
they're headstrong. Both of them are. And the thing is, when you're pairing a very confident bird, you have to be careful to not place them with somebody that's too timid, and also not place them with somebody that's not going to back down. You have to find the right balance. And we struggle with that in the little bird aviary all the time. When we have our green cheeks out with our 4 free flight redheaded conures, we have 3 cherry heads and a white-eyed. So they're all redheaded, but they're not all the same. When we have our green cheeks out with them, the green cheeks can only be out when they're supervised. So they can't be out free flight all the time because they don't back down. And neither does Holly. I said Holly. Trudy. Neither does Trudy. Holly backs down. She's old as hell now. But yeah, Trudy, she's feisty. So we have to be real careful with her. She'll steal food. She'll steal territory. So when the green cheeks come over and they try to pick a fight with her, sometimes we have to break up the fight because
Yeah.
like they're not going to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, and then even just finding someone or a bird that would go well with him,
Mhm.
does it take a long time to be able to determine if that's gonna be a good match, or do you just kinda keep them in separate cages and find out as time goes by, or how do you do that?
I'd say it's mostly keeping them in separate cages and finding out how they get along eventually.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
we have so many birds, so it's hard to like
Yeah.
just let them all out and see who loves who. But Sarah does a lot of like rearranging. They get to be by different partners in different times.
I'm
Like
a furniture mover.
we have we
Yeah.
have one Amazon Papa, and he's like a habitual lover. Every time one of his lovers passes away, he finds a new one.
Yeah, but he's crazy. So it's like trying to figure out if he loves somebody or hates somebody is really hard. We
Oh.
do have double cages with dividers so that if we were to try somebody, we can try them out mostly safely. There's
Yeah.
still the potential for toe bites or whatever. When Amazons pair up, they're pretty damn quick. They're like, okay, I like you. Let's move in. They're the lesbians of the
Oh.
bird world.
They're U-Hauls.
Yeah, they're U-Hauls. You're right.
That's
They are.
cute.
Amazons.
Papa's always on the prowl for
Oh,
somebody.
he is. He's
Really? Oh, that is so cute.
oh
He
my
hates
gosh. Yeah.
humans, but
Yeah, he really hates humans. He was one of the wild
Really?
caught birds, and I'm not totally
Uh-huh.
convinced he wasn't wild caught as an adult, which would
Oh.
explain a lot of his behavior. He's never been
Yeah.
tame in his entire life. So it's hard to
Yeah.
know, but he likes other birds for sure.
Yeah.
he loves other birds.
Oh,
He loves
that's so
them.
cute.
Most of the time, it just takes time, though. Like, you just have to
Yeah.
put them next to each other and see how they get along eventually. And then
Mhm.
I like to take them out into the aviary if the weather's nice, because that's a very, like, open area. They can fly away from each other if they want to. You don't have to, like, put them in a cage together because it's a very confined area and sometimes can lead to more, like, territorial problems.
They'll definitely let you know if they don't like each
This is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes they don't love each other at first, but they're not mad. Other times it's like immediately no. Immediately
Yeah.
no.
And sometimes they
Yeah.
live together and they're just friends. Just friends. Not even
Yeah.
like they don't mate with each other. They don't
Pino
feed
and
each other. They
Dante.
don't preen each other. They can be together.
Coexist.
Yep, they coexist. And that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh.
The bird needs a
Yeah.
friend. Except for Ruby.
Yeah.
She does not need a friend.
Yeah, I would breaking up a bird fight would be so scary.
It depends on the bird. Breaking up a conure
Yeah.
fight, you do this, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breaking up a macaw fight, that's a little sketchier. But mostly the macaws
Yeah.
listen to us pretty well. Breaking up an Amazon fight, that
Oh.
is scary.
Yeah.
Breaking up an Amazon fight is
Oh.
scary because they will fight to the death.
Yeah. And they just
Oh.
latch on. They don't
It's
just
bad.
like bite and let go and bite and let go. Like some of them, the way they squabble. No, it's like bite and then start like
Yeah,
they do damage. It's damage.
it could happen
Oh
pretty
my
quick. So
gosh.
So
we're
fast.
like especially careful about Amazons pairing up, which sucks because the
Or
Amazons
even
want to
just
pair up more than anybody else.
Yeah, but also even just letting the Amazons out. Like there are a lot of macaws and even a couple of the cockatoos in our cockatoo room that
Uh-huh.
you can let out of their cage and they're not going to look for trouble. They just come out and stay there.
I mean, 4 out of the 5 cockatoos can come out and reasonably be fine.
Yeah. But Amazons, there are not very many Amazons that I let out just to let out during the day. Unless I'm specifically going to take it to a separate room and have like bonding time with it and be cute. But I'm not just going to let it out of its cage to sit on top the way other ones can because they are crazy.
I have a dream of having a separate room in the rescue with like a couch and maybe a TV or something where people can take birds in to socialize with and to interact with and see if they would be a good like adoption candidate. And also, I think that would be so much easier for the Amazons because they can actually just like relax in a place where it's quiet and let their actual personality show. Because a bird like Tuffy, he cannot interact normally in the rescue. When he's outside of the rescue, cuddly bird, but inside,
it's really hard to see some of their actual personalities because it doesn't come out until they can come out. And if they can't, you know, spend an adequate amount of time outside of their cage in the rescue, then it's hard for them to come out of their shells too. And then you get them home and there's just this whole other bird that you didn't know existed.
Dante.
That's so when my friend gave me Minnow, and so we don't know if he was bred or wild caught. I try to mimic like a rainforest vibe for him as much as possible. He's in a room with all my tropical plants and a humidifier. Like this is a very spoiled bird. But when I first got him, so I was living in Texas and my friend was like, and I'm from Iowa, so I had no family or anything. My friend was like, you need a friend, and so I'm giving you this bird. And I'm like, I wanted an African gray, but fine, I'll take this parrot, you know. And he's like, no, this one needs a home. And Minnow and I hated each other for the first 2 weeks. Like, you know, and he was just adjusting, and my friend was like, no, you're not giving me that bird back for 3 months. You give that bird a chance. And I'm like, okay. And then, I mean, you know, but it was kind of a situation where it's like, I didn't ask for this bird though. Like, but we shared food together and had snackies. And then it was like, we were best friends ever since then. So, but his real character, I didn't see it. Like he had attacked me. He called me an asshole all the time. Like he
had to work through his trauma.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that my friend was like, no, you're keeping this bird. And I tell him thank you all the time. but so the one thing I wanted to stress with this podcast is why it is so difficult to find homes for the parrots. I saw with was it KCRG? There was a news piece that I saw on Facebook, and I mean, people are ignorant on the internet anyways, no matter what it is. They say stupid stuff. But you know, I saw a lot of comments that I just wanted to start fighting with them, but I didn't.
I bit my tongue real hard on some of those. There was one that I couldn't shut up about though. There was a guy asking how they tasted, and I said probably like bald eagle.
Nice.
Some of them I just couldn't resist.
Yeah. And a lot of them were like, well, adopt them out then. Don't hoard them. And it's like, they do adopt out.
These are people that have literally never been to our rescue. And I can guarantee you this. People that I've never seen their name before. People, and I've checked. I've been like, do I know this person? I don't recognize this person, but maybe I know them. And, you know, I'll search the email or something like that. And no, this is just people talking about something that they have absolutely no idea about, but that happens.
Or they don't want to go through the process. I mean, obviously we're going to have a process. We're a rescue facility. We're placing these birds in good homes. We're not a profit. Like, we're not selling birds. We're adopting birds and rescuing birds. And so then people don't want to go through, like, we want an extensive application to like questions that we want real answers to know you.
And most of the applications that we get, people really, they don't fill them out properly.
And
and I don't think it's difficult to do. It's very simple questions, but people will just be like, yes, no, or when I have experience or whatever, and they just don't.
We do home checks, and some people don't want to do home checks because obviously there's, you know, reasons why we're going to say no to them if we were to do a home check, and we're not, you know, just adopt them out. Just give us a bird.
We just had somebody whine to us like 2 days ago that said we discriminated because we don't adopt out to people in apartments or mobile homes. And that's not true.
Not
we do.
true,
We
but
just
also
adopt out appropriate birds to those
exactly.
Yeah.
places. But people who
We have
don't get what they want, or they're looking for something that they have no business having. Like if they
Yeah.
live in an
Yeah.
apartment and they want a macaw, they think that we discriminate against them because they can't have what they want. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that's
But this is a
discriminating.
bird that's going to get you kicked out of your apartment.
Correct. And then
Yeah.
what good does that do for you or the bird? We're looking at longevity here.
Yeah.
But a lot of the
Yeah.
people that complain and whine about that
And
aren't
don't
thinking about that.
know. Yeah.
No,
So
I think
these
they
people
know. I
that
think they just don't care.
right. People that want birds that don't know what it takes to have one, or you see a cute video and you're like, I want this specific bird because I saw it do this specific thing on the internet.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they're like, I want this bird. And the only ones we have of those hate them. Like they're like, we're never going to take this bird home, and be open to something else. If you really want a companion, you need to be okay with what's going to want you.
Yep. And the people that adopt are people that are willing to put in the effort, to put in the time, to be open and honest about their life, and want to find a companion that is going to work for them. You know, they don't want to just take any bird because of what it does. And we've had people that came to us and said, well, I wanted a bird because I saw it online.
Yeah.
And we explained that's not really how birds are. I think you should do some more research. And a lot of times they're receptive to that. It's not always, unfortunately, we wish people were, but there are times where we are able to adopt to them. They just weren't educated. And we like to educate. That's something that is so crucial to making sure that people understand how to live with birds happily.
Yeah.
And
and what bird likes what. I mean, for myself, for example, I have a family. I have a 2-year-old. I have 3 other stepkids that are 8, 13, and 16. And so there's birds at the rescue that I would love to bring home. Vincey loves me. Me and her, that's my girl. But but bringing her into a home with kids, not gonna happen ever. Or bringing her with a husband is not gonna happen. She's not gonna be happy in a place that she has to share me. So she needs to find a home that will fit her. And like, the ones that bringing Aloe home for myself. I brought my kids into the rescue multiple times. We had one-on-ones with them. I made sure that she was going to be okay with them. And that's just not something people are always willing to do. Like, I want to come in and I want to adopt a bird right now and bring it home right now. Instead of like,
not a pet store. Not a pet store.
Instead of figuring out who's going to be okay with them, who's going to like all of their family members, who's going to be okay with the type of house they live in, like where they live, all of the things take in. And a lot of people just are not patient enough to want to do that, especially when you have breeders at your fingertips anywhere you go. I mean,
that's why I think so many of those people in that like KCRG comment section were just being ignorant. Like all those comments were just people that were ignorant and people that had unrealistic expectations for what we provide, or just wanted somebody to whine to.
Well, there's people that are gonna bitch on every post no matter what. But
100%. There's always somebody.
we also get a lot of trauma-filled birds. So like it's hard for us to necessarily just place birds willy-nilly because a lot of the birds we get are rescues. I mean, just rescues. Like trauma birds come from neglectful backgrounds or homes or
well said. There's definitely a difference between rescued versus like rehomed. A lot of the birds that we get in have come from good homes and have had pretty good lives, but then some of them like Chopper and Oscar, we had 2 applications for Chopper and Oscar, but these were 2 people that like wanted cuddly birds. Like these 2 have a lot of trauma in their life, and the environment
take a long time. It could happen, but you got to find somebody that's got the patience for that.
Yep. And those 2 came from one of the worst situations I've ever walked into, like one of the worst hoarder homes. It was horrible.
When I go to the pet stores for other supplies, I always go and look at all the the birds and everything, but I get
Mhm.
so sad because I don't know what like, they're so young and innocent, and it's like, what kind of life
Yeah.
are you going to? Are you going to a home with a child who's not gonna take care of you? I I I really wish that it was outlawed, that you could not sell exotic animals at pet stores. Like, you should not be
Mhm.
able to just
Me
walk
too.
in and
Mhm.
come home with an animal that requires such different care than a cat or dog.
And
And
an
like earlier
animal
we're
that's gonna live over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause,
Yeah.
Quakers will live to be into their 30s, and Quakers are
Mhm.
very popular at Petco.
Yeah.
The last time I went to
Yep.
Petco in Coralville, they had one, and they had a
Conures are super
what did they
popular.
have? Oh, I think it was a grass parakeet. They had some kind of a grass parakeet. I mean, that's a wide
Uh-huh.
variety of species. I don't remember the exact type it was.
Uh-huh.
But it was not a common bird, and it's also a bird that's notorious for not really being like a snuggly bird. They're pretty hands off. So somebody's gonna get that
Yeah.
bird thinking that it's gonna be like a conure. And they're
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
So different. They're more like a budgie than anything, but a flighty budgie.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it just breaks my heart that it's and then if people aren't willing to go through the application process, if they're too not to call names, but if they're too lazy to do the application process to adopt a
I
bird,
mean,
they
Yeah.
shouldn't adopt a bird because
yeah.
it's not easy. It's not.
No, and it shouldn't be easy. And we are unusual in that most rescues charge adoption fees. We do not
Mhm.
charge adoption fees. That's something that's
Oh,
been in
wow.
place since the beginning of Iowa Parrot Rescue, and it's something that's going to be in place until well, hopefully Iowa Parrot Rescue never ends, but forever.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
policy that's going to change. But I think that also gives us a little bit more permission to be pickier
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
really have to be doing more due diligence to ensure that the homes are safe, that they are in it for the right reason, that they are going to care for that animal as much as humanly possible. Give
Yeah.
them more than we can give them. If somebody is ready to adopt a bird and we don't think they can give them more than we do, why would
Mhm.
we place them? Because it's just going back into the same situation they came from. You know,
Yeah.
plenty of other rescues can get money from placing birds. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think rehoming fees are fine. It's not something
Yeah.
that we do though. And I think it also unfortunately attracts a lot of people that can't afford to like adopt one from a rescue that
Mhm.
charges more fees. But that makes you wonder, can you afford the long term care? Are you actually going to
Right.
be taking them to the vet on a regular basis? Because
Yeah.
most of these birds are not in the best of health. That's the way it is any place you go. I've known people that have gotten birds from breeders that have lasted 6 weeks. So you can't guarantee health
Yeah.
anywhere. But I think it comes especially bad in rescues because they've already been, living with other people and already been neglected in some ways.
Predisposed.
Mhm.
Predisposed, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wonder, like, how long my bird's gonna make it just because I he had a rough life before
Yeah.
he was
You have
surrendered
no
to
idea
my
where they
friend
came
Samuel.
from.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I'm like, "Okay, well, if we can make it to 65, because expectancy for him is, I believe, last I checked, 50 in captivity, 80 in the wild." So I'm like, "Alright, let's go for 65."
That's
Sounds like a good number.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, but I know that I could lose him tomorrow too, he,
Oh, yep.
um, he was having so you know
Yep.
how they bond
Hi.
with people so much? He was having seizures leading up to my wedding, and Dr.
Oh.
Lori was like, "I think maybe he was picking up on your stress, because then they stopped after we got
Oh my
back." And
goodness.
isn't
Oh.
that crazy? Like, cats and dogs don't do that. And then the other thing I was thinking of, while we were discussing was, like, what if kittens and puppies were ugly? Like, how many less pets would get returned to the pet shelter because they were, y ugly when they were little? And yeah.
Parrots are pretty ugly when they're little.
True, yeah.
Parrots are like the
True.
ugliest.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm very much like a senior pet kind of person. Most of my pets are
Yeah.
are seniors. Louis is like the youngest that I've owned, and he's
Uh-huh.
3 this year because I got him 2 years
Oh,
ago. But my cat, I got her when she was 6 months old, and that was horrible. I'm never going through the experience of a kitten ever again. It wasn't really my choice. She showed up at the rescue, and Mike was like, "Here, take her to the animal shelter." Like 18 days after my heart, like my very first cat, my soul cat, she passed away. And Mike was like, "Take her to the animal shelter," and I was like, "There's a snowstorm coming. She has to come home with me." And she never left.
I love that. Yeah, like you were saying earlier, pets find you.
Yes. Yep, they do.
Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before we wrap it up?
Mostly kind of the same thing that we said before, like, do your research if you want a parrot. Really know what you're getting into. It's a huge commitment, even for the smallest bird. When it comes to the pet stores that we talked about, buying a bird from the pet store is just fueling the cycle. It's not actually helping anything. I understand that you're making a difference for that single bird, but it's also kind of dooming another bird to just go in its place. You know, the places that matter that you should be talking to is the corporations, Petco corporate or whatever, or legislators even for better animal rights or animal welfare laws. That's crucial in this state. We are so lax in what Iowa allows, you know, and we see so many hoarding cases that just never go anywhere.
Yeah.
The people don't face consequences for what they've done, and some of these birds die. You know, the big group of budgies we got in last year, 6 out of those 55 birds died.
Well,
and there was no repercussions.
Just in our town, we had a hoarding situation where they got caught hoarding with a bunch of animals, and then not even a year later they had restocked and got
it was about 3 months that she got like 25 more animals after they had already taken 60 some birds out, or 60 some animals out. We got 7 birds in from that situation,
and then she restocked like it was,
and she got more. Yeah, she got 25 more animals within a period of months.
She just got in trouble for it, and then got in trouble for it again.
Yeah, she was told you can't have any more animals, but there's no oversight.
Yeah,
you know, nobody's telling. You can say that this person can't have any more animals, but who's actually checking up on that? So,
and how much trouble did she really get in for it? You know, for the neglect and the hurt and the abuse of
the
these
amount
animals.
of animals that they found dead.
Yeah, and she got in zero trouble, enough just to turn around 3 months later and have it happen again. It's crazy.
Yeah, we definitely like to see some changes in the animal welfare laws, and that's a big thing for sure. If anybody has any interest in adopting, our website is like a one-stop shop. It has information about surrendering birds, adopting birds, how to volunteer, how to donate. There is a section about how to do be a home visitor specifically. It's still a volunteered position, but allows you to do more from your own home. So if somebody lives in like Sioux Falls or something, they can apply to be a home visitor.
Places that we can't necessarily visit their homes, but we have adopters or people that want applicants.
Yes, applicants. Yeah, if we have somebody like in that area that wants to adopt, as of right now, we don't have anybody in some of those areas. So if we get people that will do home visits, they make a trip to the rescue so that we can train them, and so that we can talk and make sure that they're a good, fit or whatever. I guess I don't know. Once they make the trip to the rescue, we train them. They're pretty much set to do home visits, and that allows us to extend our adoption reach, and that's like
drastically.
That's crucial to our operation, really. Like, we would like to adopt out
we're the only
more people.
We're the only parrot rescue from Denver to Chicago, right?
Pretty much.
Denver, Colorado to Chicago.
Well, though, HARP in Omaha is also out now. That's Heartland Avian Rescue Project. We're the only health inspected and licensed rescue between Chicago and Denver. But HARP is a great resource for the Omaha area. They are a foster base that came out of Omaha Cage Bird Society, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. They came to visit us.
Nice. Yeah, so that's a really cool way that people from all over could help you guys out just by doing that. And you're in Letts, Iowa, correct?
Yes, Letts, Iowa.
Okay.
It's about 20 minutes south of Muscatine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, so listeners, if you want to help, you can sign up to do I love her little noises. You can sign up to do home visits.
Yep, we
And
have a
then
volunteer application online.
oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and then like you said, I saw that it was the website's pretty well organized, all the tabs, like there is that donate tab. I think the shirts and gear is under the donate tab too, right?
I think it's got its
Maybe.
own section because it's like a store portion of the website,
Oh,
so it's
right.
got like its own little section.
Okay.
So I think that's how you access the t-shirts, and we also sell first
Yeah.
aid kits,
I was just gonna
first
say
aid
first aid
kit,
kits.
kit refills, and we are looking at adding more unique things this year. So
Yeah.
we'll do
Yeah,
craft it.
those first aid kits are so cool. Like I never even thought about a little parrot first aid kit. So,
Well, we
yeah.
realized that there was nothing online to show like what to have in a kit, and we pretty much know what
Mhm.
to have in a kit because we have stuff on hand all the time, but most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people don't have these things. So by offering the first aid kit, it just helps
Yeah.
so people don't have to spend twice as much money to set up their own kit.
Or when there's an emergency, they have a kit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey there. At this time, I tell Sarah and Casey about the time Minnow trapped my friend Elizabeth in the bathroom, and I thought it'd be fun for you to hear it from her. Enjoy. And so I thought it would be fun for you to share your story as a pet sitter because finding the correct pet sitter for your parrot alone is like terrible. And just because you find a good pet sitter doesn't mean your parrot's going to like them. And to be clear, Minnow does like you,
I
but
don't know if he does.
I think he just likes to scare people.
I think, yeah, Minnow, the thing about parrots and macaws and birds in general is, especially like Minnow, he has been alive longer than me by quite a bit. Like he's got more life experience than me.
Yeah.
And especially at that time. So I think he gets it and he likes to be entertained.
Yeah.
Because we went on a walk once and Minnow wouldn't even let me hold him.
Yeah.
Remember, he just kept
Yeah.
being a little shit about it and like pretending he was going to bite me.
Yeah. Yeah. And he wouldn't even talk to Kyle for 2 years after we moved in with him. So, but yeah. So how old were you in like 2018-ish?
21, 20.
Okay. So yeah, Minnow is 11 years older than you. So Minnow would have been 32 at the time. So yeah, you're just like a baby. You don't know anything.
Not even, I don't even think I could legally drink at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so in 2018, Sam had to leave town and asked me to pet sit for her, which I was excited to do because I love animals. She had a couple of ferrets at the time, which were always really fun to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And ferrets are just so unique in and of themselves. So I was excited to get to do this. She assured me that because Minnow, I had already been apprehensive of him. And she reassured me, he'll be in his cage. You just got to flip the food part out. So I didn't have to open the cage completely, just flip the food and water out and fill it up. So I was in the back room in her apartment, in the furthest room back, filling up the cat and ferrets water, food. And I turn around and Minnow is standing in the hallway. Like when I came into the apartment, he was locked in his cage, which was like eye level to me. And when I turned around, he was standing in the hallway.
Yeah.
Now Minnow also does this thing where he laughs really loud and really obnoxiously, like the way a sociopath or a psychopath or somebody with severe mental illness would laugh.
Yeah.
And I just froze. I didn't know what to do because I wasn't convinced that he couldn't fly and he just let himself out of a cage.
Yeah.
So where he was standing, it was about a foot. If he would have got a foot closer to me, he would have been parallel with the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I make a mad dash to the bathroom, and I shut the door because that's the only barrier that I had between me and this bird.
Yeah.
And I call Sam, and I tell her that her parrot is evil and a genius and has barricaded me in this room. Now where were you, Texas?
Yeah, I think I was in Colorado. I think my brother lived in Colorado at the time.
So not anywhere close, not able to help me in any way, but obviously she was laughing her ass off, and I was terrified. She was like, go out into the dining room, and there's a big stick. Go get the stick. And I was like, I can't get out of the bathroom to get the stick. So I'm in this bathroom for probably 5 minutes, and then I see a towel, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to throw this towel on this bird. I'm going to jump over him, and I'm going to get the stick. Well, when I opened the door, he wasn't there.
Oh my God.
So my next thought was, this animal, this bird is really playing with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I still armed with my towel. I still go out. I look around, and he's just chilling by his cage. And I go to the other side of the room, and he just crawls right back up into his cage and puts himself in it and shuts the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, you little shit, you did that just to terrify me. It was the only reason. He just put himself right back in. I changed the food and water, and the rest was uneventful. But there was probably 10 minutes where I thought that this bird was going to eat me.
Yeah.
But also, I can't remember. I think, and then about a year later, I got attacked by an owl.
Yeah.
So all of my fears were justified at that point.
Yeah.
But I do believe Minnow has the most human personality of almost any animal I've ever met.
Yeah. And did he stay outside the door laughing for a while?
Oh, yeah, he did. Because I remember asking you if you could hear him and what was happening.
Oh, yes, I could. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if his previous owners watched a lot of horror movies, but he gets he'll change his laugh to what he hears too. So if there's little kids, he'll change it to like a little kid laugh, but it's a parrot doing it. So it's scary. And then he'll do the thing, Yeah. So like he's like purposely trying to scare people.
And then it'll be like loud and screechy.
Mm-hmm.
And no,
that
bird knows how to mess with people. But
That's
you know what? I respected him a lot more after that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not really trying to fight with you. I just wanted to scare you and laugh.
He's like, I just want you to know who's top dog here.
Yeah, and then the owl attack, since you mentioned it, was that your ponytail or your necklace, or
I think it was my ponytail because I had really long hair at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was walking in my car, and I'm sure it was swaying, but then the owl just came up from behind. But once it like came down on me, and I went like this and punched it off, and like I don't know if anyone has ever seen an owl in the wild, just chilling. They're big. Okay, their wingspan is enormous, and their legs come out like this far.
Yeah. And could you hear it?
I heard the wings come out. And so when I turned like this, I saw it, and it like got this side of my neck.
Yeah.
Because owls go for the jugular, like in animals, because that's how they kill them. So like I knew what it was doing, but once I punched it, it flew up. I parked on the side of the road outside of my friend's house. It flew up onto a stop sign and just sat there and stared at me. And we like stared at each other for like 3 seconds before I was like, I lose, got in my car.
Yeah.
And like drove around the corner to where my friends were. And I was like, we have to go. An owl just attacked me. And they were like, no, it didn't. And I was like, look. And I pulled my shirt down, and it was like blood running down my neck. And they were like, oh my God, you did get attacked by an owl. Yeah, so then I was in nursing school at the time, so I had to have like a bunch of, you have to have all your vaccines and your TB test and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I had to be put on Bactrim.
Oh my God.
Because owls don't carry rabies, fun fact.
Mm-hmm. Right.
However, their nails are really dirty because that's how they eat. So
yeah.
I had to make sure I didn't get some like weird owl infection.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Zoonotic
disease.
I could have at least gotten like superpowers out of it or something, but
that would have been sweet. Yeah. To this day, I don't know anyone who's been attacked by an owl.
You should have seen the look on the doctor's face when I explained what happened. And he was like, he's like searching in his computer, and because he must have had to put in a diagnosis somewhere to like order the medication. And he was like, I think if I put owl attack, my computer's going to freak out. So I'm just going to write abrasion. I was like, in what world is this an abrasion? I have puncture sites.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I'd love to read that visit summary.
Yeah. I know. That's got to be one of those interesting intakes. Like,
yeah, walking into urgent
visits,
care and like
whatever.
explaining to the woman behind the desk. It was like embarrassing because like, how does that happen?
Yeah. Yeah. And because I guess I would think like, oh, okay, so an owl swooped at you and it spooked you. Got it. But like, no, he actually drew blood.
He went for it. Yeah. No, he made a lot of contact.
I forgot you had to punch him to get him off of you.
I did. I have punched an owl.
That's something.
It's something not everyone can say.
That's hilarious. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. That's a good way to wrap up this fun little charity episode that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And for those listening, Elizabeth does the political retrograde episodes on the Shades of Jade podcast. So they are crimes that really, I wouldn't say there's any politics in it. They just happen to deal with politicians and like maybe some.
Yeah. Like politically motivated to a degree, but not like, I mean, some of them are completely politically motivated, but also just like crazy people being crazy because of the, disagreeing with politics and things like that.
Yeah. And we don't get into like the nitty gritty with policies or what side's doing what. It's like,
it's not right versus left. It's just true crime tied in with Sam's Shades of Jade political podcast.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. All right, Elizabeth. Well, thank you. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Now back to the original conversation with Sarah and Casey.
It's not just like changing the cat food and the water and saying bye.
It's I'm locked in the bathroom. Help me.
Yes, that's exactly.
I can't get him back in his cage. What do I do?
Yep. Yeah.
This is 100%.
Don't let him escape is my number one rule.
Yep.
Don't let him out.
Yeah.
This one, she's the escape artist in my group. She's always like trying to sneak out a food door or something. As soon as it opens, she bolts for it.
My mom does my bird watching, and when I had Pinot, she said that he would like attack her glasses. And go after her every time she tried to feed her, and I was like, well, don't let him out again.
Yeah, I do notice sometimes they like those shiny things,
Tegan hates my glasses. If I walk in there with my glasses, he is like twice as aggressive as usual, and that says a lot because Tegan's crazy.
Mine Aloe at home, I wear ear covers because either ear covers or I wear a sweatshirt that has a hat or a hood because I have earrings and she goes after my earrings. Pull them right out. Yes. Yep. Oh my God, she made me bleed the other day because she grabbed one so hard and I was like, no. I always wear like earmuffs when I'm around her because she has a thing for shiny things.
I lost all my piercings years ago because of that.
I
just had to take them all out. I still have my little Kadlec piercings, but everything else is gone.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I
Girl, not in
had
my mouth.
my ears all done, nose, because my bird
Yep.
would take
Yeah.
my
I
nose
had
hoop
2.
out.
I had my
Yeah.
septum, and I had
And
a
they're
side
so
one.
fast about it too. And they're
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then try
God.
to wrestle that out of a macaw's mouth. And
Oh,
then the whole
right.
time you're
Yeah.
like, so you keep away. That's literally what Aloe did. She was like, no,
No, she
no,
does, and then
no.
she'll hide it. She'll put it underneath her tongue when she knows you're coming for it.
Yes.
She'll put it underneath your tongue, and I'm like,
She's a real naughty.
Oh,
let it go.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Naughty little
Oh,
things.
She's fun.
yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being a part of this. And I feel like this episode both had a lot of funny parts, and you shared some awesome information. Like some of it was even new to me, and I just love it. You're just a fountain of important information.
Oh,
She
thanks.
is.
You
She's
are.
an
Yeah.
encyclopedia.
I'm not. Well, I really appreciate you having us on here too to help
Yeah.
spread the word about IPR and just help people understand that parrots are so much more complex than how social media makes them out to be or how the pet stores make them out to be. There's so much more to it. So with any luck, we can
Yeah.
get some more adoptions and volunteers and things.
That's it for this special episode. I've included the link to Iowa Parrot Rescue in the show notes, and I hope you'll check them out. I know donating isn't always an option, but spreading the word by sharing this episode or the Iowa Parrot Rescue page can go a long way. Thank you for your support, and always, thank you for listening and have a great day.